Hey lady, welcome to the Confidently Her podcast, where we will take the journey together from being stuck in our past to confidently being in control of our future. Are you emotionally drained from all of the judgment placed on your life from yourself and others? Are you stuck looking back at what could have been instead of what is and what will be? If you said yes, then hang on tight. My name's Megan, and in this series, I will share the tools to help you take the wheel of life and lead you to find the confident her in you the way I found the confident her in me, without looking back or giving a damn about what other people think. There's an unstoppable woman inside of you who's ready to wipe the guilt, shame, fear, and anxiety out for good, who's ready to start living her life confidently on her terms and no one else's. So girl, let's do this because you are worth it. Hey lady. Welcome back to the Confidently Her podcast. I'm super excited you're here, and I'm ready to dive into today's juicy pep talk because I think it's time and I think we all need it. So my inspiration for this week's episode actually came from a pep talk I gave my group of women in my private fitness group, and it really seemed to hit home with them. So I figured maybe someone else out there might need to hear this too. Really quick though, before I get into it, I want to remind you that you can sign up for my free newsletter that's kicking off tomorrow by going to confidentlyher.me and just submitting your email and name. Again, no spam mail, nothing like that, just another way for us to stay connected. So I'm really excited to kick off my monthly newsletter. So go on over and check it out. So, are you someone who's feeling like you are in a funk lately? Like just completely feeling like you're in a funk? I feel like a lot of people are feeling that way right now. And I first want to kick off today's pep talk by saying, you have to take care of you before taking care of others. And I want to use the analogy of the plane oxygen because who is the first person they tell you to put that oxygen mask on in an emergency on a plane? It's you, right? Before your own children, you have to put a mask on yourself. So whatever feeding life to yourself looks like, whether that's movement, nutrition, and both of those things should be a part of that, you have to take care of you in order to be the best mother, the best wife, the best employee, the best human being that you can be, right? You have to take care of yourself first. So I first wanted to just start there. Now, it's no secret, this time of year just sucks, right? It's dark by 4 p.m., it's in the middle of a pandemic, like going on for a year now. It's unknown what next year is going to bring, and it's really easy to get into a funk right now. But again, as I've shared before, it is your thoughts, not the neutral circumstance, that's driving the feelings that you're feeling. That's driving the funk that you are choosing to stay stuck in. So if you have not changed your thoughts yet, I urge you to do the work every single day to do so. Because you can change your thoughts. How amazing is that? You have the power to change your thoughts and to squash the ones that are not serving you. Start feeding yourself better serving thoughts. Here's my next question. Are you really willing to continue wasting more time waiting for the right time? Are you really? Are you really waiting for this all to be over? And I say be over in quotes because let's face it, we have no idea what next year is going to bring. And as I've shared before, there's no magic switch that's going to change when January 1st hits. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And it's a reality that we all need to face. Stop wasting your life for the right time because as I've said, there is no right time. The time is now. Life is happening now. Do what you need to do now to keep moving forward. 2021 can be an amazing year, but that's in your court. You have the option. You're playing the cards. How are you going to choose to play your cards next year? Are you going to start it off really strong and set yourself some big goals? Or are you going to stay stuck where you've been staying for weeks or months, right? Make the choice and stop wasting your life. Let's say you can't get out of your own way, right? Like a lot of the women in my fitness group have been feeling like just stuck the last couple of months. And honestly, I have too a little bit in my own way. And it's about calling your own BS, right? What did you stop doing before? That's what I've had to ask them. Think about back to the time that you were slaying your workouts and slaying your nutrition plan and working on your mindset, all of these things. What were you doing? at that time? And what did you stop doing to get you to where you are right now? Start implementing what was working before and get back to that person that was fighting to make her life better. So, I want to share today a few things that I've been implementing every single day the last month that have really helped me pull myself out of that funk, because I would say about the whole month of September and October kind of drizzled over into November. I was definitely in a funk and I needed to do something ASAP to get out of it and move forward. And did you know that getting active is one of the best ways to get out of a funk? That's definitely on my list, as I'm sure you guessed, along with limiting alcohol, getting outside, reading personal development books, confronting your problems, and setting goals. And if you're stuck, then you must be getting something out of it, right? I remember listening to a podcast just recently and she said that. Why are you choosing to suffer? It must be that you're getting something out of it. And it's so true. Are you enjoying wallowing in self-pity? Because I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I finally reached the point where I had reached my wit's end and I needed to do something different, right? So think about that and ask yourself, why am I choosing to stay stuck? Why am I choosing to suffer? So the first thing that I have been doing every single day the last month is showing myself self-love and self-care. This comes in many different forms. And again, you have to take care of you. And part of that, which is a huge part of that, is your nutrition and moving your body every single day. Things start getting better when you love yourself and forgive yourself, right? If you've been off the bandwagon, off of your routine for a few weeks or a few months, forgive yourself and move on. Forgive yourself for falling down and praise yourself for getting up and fighting every day to keep moving forward and pushing forward. Number 2, get outside. We were not meant to live in a box, girl. We need fresh air. We need light, right? We are creatures of light. We need it to survive. This is one reason why I have been loving the 75 Hard Challenge so much. And I don't mean to talk about it all of the time, but it's really important to mention because it's forcing me to get outside and get fresh air every single day, regardless of how cold it is. We are just at the beginning of winter. It hasn't even hit yet here in Maine, and we are having temperatures in the 20s, but I bundle myself up and I get outside and get fresh air. And I can't even tell you what that's done for my mind. So get yourself outside and get yourself some fresh air. Number 3, as mentioned before, getting active. We need to move our bodies as much as we are able to. And if your shoulder hurts, I'm sorry, there's no excuse. There's other forms of activity. You could go for a walk, right? Any form of movement. Maybe do some yoga. There's so much evidence that physical activity makes us happier. And there's a downward cycle of pain when you stop moving your body, which leads to more inactivity, which then leads to more pain. And the absolute worst thing you can do to your body is sitting, just staying stagnant at your desk all day or sitting on the couch all day. And I think it's really important to mention too that the body and mind are not two separate entities. They are two sides of the same coin. What we do to one affects the other. And an active, healthy body is an active, healthy mind. So make sure you're moving your body. The next one is reading. I never used to be a reader, and I will say opening myself up to personal development books and podcasts has been immensely helpful. It opens up empathy for ourselves and others, and it helps us see our life in a new way. So I challenge you, if you are not someone into personal development, which I'm figuring you probably are if you're listening to this podcast, go buy yourself a book. Force yourself to learn something every single day and implement it in your life. The next one is a really tough one, but it's super important. And it's confronting any problems you have to make your life better. Now, what I mean by that is, in order to make our lives better, we have to see what's going wrong and take concrete steps to fix the problem. And a lot of the time, we fall into this rut of avoidance behavior and procrastination, which only makes it worse, right? Let's say your finances are crappy right now because of COVID. Make a list of your debts and your bills and tackle them one by one. Make it more manageable. If your relationship is on the brink of disaster, sit that person down and have a conversation, right? Come to an understanding with them and do what needs to be done for the both of you. If you have a weird mole, right, on your leg, this is something that I just dealt with. I have a weird mole on the upper thigh. And if it's freaking you out, go to the doctor. Maybe you have something similar that you can relate to, but anything that's causing you worry, go to the doctor. If your roof is leaking, call the repairman, right? We often multiply our problems by failing to take timely action. And we've talked about that before, how action is so good for minimizing our anxiety. The next one is my favorite, and that is to set goals. You got to set some easy goals, and you've also got to set some really big, scary, difficult ones. And if you have too many big ones on your list, let's say fitness related, that's what I do. If you have a goal of losing 50 pounds or getting a six-pack, that list might feel very unattainable. It doesn't mean you can't attain it, but it might be too much right now at the beginning. And on the flip side, if you have too many really easy goals, you won't be stretching or growing as a person. So maybe you've completely removed working out from your routine. Start small. Start with 10 minutes a day. Take yourself out for a 10-minute walk. You can find 10 minutes in your day to move your body. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many kids you have. I have women in my group with 5 children, 3 children, 2 children, multiple jobs, right? And they're still putting in the work and getting it done. You too can find just 10 minutes a day. Start small, set that small goal, and grow from there. And goals should really be kind of a half of a to-do list and half a bucket list. And what I mean by that is if your 2 lists align, let's say you set 3 easy goals and set 3 big, difficult goals. If your 2 lists kind of align with each other, your to-do list will naturally lead to crossing off your bucket list. So let's say, again, fitness as an example. If you've totally removed working out from your routine, set a small goal of working out every day, and then set a big goal of hitting that 30-pound weight that you're trying to lose, let's say for health purposes, right? Once you start working out every day, physical changes come with time, right? It's only a matter of time before you start marking off your bucket list too. And if the 2 lists don't overlap, it's really important to reevaluate and reassess your goals. Make sure that they're aligning together. So that's your homework for this week. And tag me on Facebook or Instagram if you have a chance to set yourself some small goals and big goals. I'd love to hear from you. But start listing out just 3. Pick 3 little ones, 3 big ones, right? Put them somewhere that you can look at every single day. And don't just soak in this information. Start implementing these. If you can relate to anything that I've talked about today, put this into motion. Take action and make 2021 so freaking amazing. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for listening in today. If you really enjoyed this episode, I would so appreciate it if you shared it with a girlfriend or a sister. Better yet, tag me on Facebook or Instagram and I'll send you a personal thank you.